Members of Parliament have threatened to boycott the State of the National Address, saying the 10 billion shillings funds should have been utilized to boost education and health facilities. Let's take a look.
Nothing you're going to lose out, and that's why we are telling to stay away and operate on Zoom. It will save the taxpayer money, but also the inconvenience of looking at him. So there's nothing you're going to lose. You shall get his message. That's why we are saying, instead of losing 10 billion, trekking to Kololo, that money can go to Luwero and buy schools furniture and put medicine in those hospitals we found yapping and lacking, instead of wasting it on a ritual.
And Makerere University, in collaboration with the Julius Nyerere Leadership Center, is hosting a presidential lecture series dedicated to empowering women and fostering leadership skills among students. The 3-day event revolves around the theme of celebrating women, Pan-Africanism and community. Her Excellency Fatoumata Jallow Tabajang, the former Vice President of the Gambia, will grace the occasion. While speaking to the media in Kampala, Her Excellency said that Africa should get united and it can all be achieved through leadership.
I first of all salute His Excellency the President, Mr. Beni, for allowing me to come here without visa, because that's very important. We're talking about Africa, borderless Africa, and it starts from the leaders. Once the leaders are convinced that Africa should be one, we should be united, that's where the journey should start. We should not have any visa restrictions to visit each other's countries, but to see the young ones, our young children, and to show them that no matter what position we hold in life, particularly me, even if I become the president of the Gambia, if I'm invited to speak to even 3 young Ugandans or 3 young Rwandese or whoever, inshallah, I'll be able to come. The reason why I'm doing that, the purpose of my visit, of course, is to come and celebrate our father, His Excellency Julius Nyerere, who had a vision not only for Uganda, but for Africa, which is African unity. They fought tooth and nail just to ensure that they had the vision, and they really supported the vision of Africa becoming one. You come to Gambia as a Ugandan, you must feel African, just as I'm feeling African coming to Uganda. Here we salute them because of leadership. Most of the challenges we have in Africa is leadership. It's rather not the people, but leadership. And leadership crosses across the board. It's like gender, it's like environment. When you talk about women, women is everybody's business. You talk about environment, it's everybody's business, because women are mothers, they are our sisters, they are our friends. The environment is also where every one of us lives. So these are things that are very important. I'm here to share the little experience that I've lived throughout my life. And the experiences are anchored on my inspiration to be one of the people who would champion the advancement of Africa, who will contribute towards the advancement of Africa, and particularly inspiring young women who, by either religious or cultural barriers, are still lagging behind.
An Entebbe municipality has unveiled a new double-decker bus to enhance transportation of tourists to various destinations in Entebbe, thus boosting local tourism. The director of Promote Uganda Safaris, David Seruwawude Nsuga, believes that it will play a crucial role in promoting Entebbe, which boasts of numerous unique tourist attractions. Godfrey Wandinga, representing the Entebbe Municipal Development Forum, highlighted the significance of this initiative. It coincides with the Ministry of Land and Urban Development's efforts to enhance Entebbe as a car-free city.
The idea of introducing the bus in Entebbe is to really market Entebbe being the first capital city of Uganda. It has got so many tourist attractions that includes WEC, Uganda Wildlife Education Center. We've got, of course, the airport, we've got State House, we've got culture sites here, we've got beaches, and so on. So this being a location that is close to the airport, many people actually come, reside here. Some of them are in transit. We want to give this service. If you have a window of about 3-4 hours, we'll give you this service. We'll take you around this city so that you actually leave the city when you know something about it. When we get guests from the hotels, the idea is to bring them out to the community. Those who have got products like art and crafts, the tourists will be able to buy them and also contribute to the local economy. So through that, we believe that we'll be developing this place and we'll be promoting Uganda.
And of course you know that before COVID came, tourism was one of the best earners of Uganda in terms of revenue. But of course after COVID things changed. We are now trying to restart this program, especially starting with Entebbe. The Ministry of Lands and Urban Development has got a program called a Car-Free City. The Car-Free City program is a program where people come to Entebbe and actually use Entebbe to do a lot of walking and tourism, not using cars. So you're going to have a place you're going to have bicycle riding, going to the beaches, and along the way shall have a lot of trade and business and commerce. That's also promoting commerce. So one of the things we are going to have to differ from other towns is Entebbe Car-Free City project, which is starting with Entebbe, and I'm happy that we are started promoting it anytime, and we are hoping that in a year or two we shall be launching actually to start here.
And members of Parliament have joined the rest of Ugandans in eulogizing Kato Lubwama as an irreplaceable icon. Kato Lubwama, apart from his media personality as a songwriter, actor, singer and playwright, served in the 10th Parliament as Luaga South representative.
It's very absurd that we have lost Honorable Kato Lubwama. Honorable Kato Lubwama is best known in the theatre industry. When we were still young kids, those are the people we enjoy to see. Kato Lubwama, Mariam Ndagire, Abe Muchibi. Actually, the time he spent in Parliament is just very little if you are to look at his legacy. And therefore, we shall miss him, but he was a down-to-earth man. Kato Lubwama, as the musician, as the member of the theatre industry, even when he came to Parliament, those trends, it could not be missed in everything he was doing. Of course, when he was in Parliament, he was on the card of the Democratic Party, but he associated with everybody, and I think at times he was mistaken to be maybe part of NRM, but he was a down-to-earth man, and we shall really miss him.
Of course, when he came here, he said, you people, Parliament, people of Rubaga sent me to come here and also have something for myself. So I am here to get something to eat. In Uganda, it says, Zekuliamu. So that was Kato Lubwama. But of course, Kato Lubwama, when you used to meet in the canteen, he really went to Parliament so much. But of course, when you used to meet in the canteen, he was jolly, he was very friendly, used to talk to one another. That was Kato Lubwama.
It's unfortunate that we have lost Honorable Kato Lubwama at his young age. We who managed to be with him in 10th Parliament, he was one of those people that had the capacity to befriend each and every person without considering the party, without considering a tribe, but Kato Lubwama was a friend of each and every person in the house. And he was full of fun. Of course, We know him as a person who is full of fun outside political circles, but even in political circles, he couldn't manage living outside his fun, and we're always happy with him. So it's unfortunate we have made a loss as Uganda, and really Kato Lubwama was never a problem to any parallel political party, and everybody knows that. So politically we have lost a man who can manage to create unity among people. We have lost a man who knows that really all Ugandans matter.
Yeah, apart from being an artist, when I joined the Parliament, Honorable Kato Lubwama contacted me after a few months, and he was like, we didn't table amendments for the copyright law. I think since we have you and Geoffrey Lutaya, and you being elected Shadow Minister for Arts and Culture, please do whatever you can such that you table at least a private member's bill to amend the copyright law. So in that regard, as Parliament, I can't take him for granted, because even all the consultations we have been carrying out, he has been a part of them. He has been coming to the Uganda Law Reform Center to see how we can really come up with a comprehensive copyright law and how we can implement it, giving suggestions in that line. So for the music industry, for the entertainment industry, this is somebody you cannot miss to talk about, because he has been a real advocate for the art industry, and seeing it that government at least gets interest and invests in the creative industry, because it is one of the avenues that are established but that the government neglects. So he's been an advocate of the art industry, the creative world. He has been really there. His voice cannot be misunderstood. He has been clear that art is the way to go if we are to have the youth, if we are to have a youth drive, if we are to have identity for the country, and of course preservation of culture. It has to be.
And the Prime Minister, Robina Nabanja, has assured the people of the Democratic Republic of Congo that Uganda is ready to concretize relations between the two sister countries. Nabanja made the remarks while meeting a delegation of members of parliament from the DR Congo who called on her at her office in Kampala.
Nabanja says that DR Congo and Uganda are sister countries, with people of the same tribes only separated by colonial borders. She notes that it is the reason why President Yoweri Museveni and the NRM government are rooting for Pan-Africanism, because we are all Africans.
It is not necessary for a brother to get a panda and a ham of brother. So the blood between us is the same.
Le sang, notre sang est le même.
And so this meeting, I wanted to inculcate and concretize our relationship. And so for me, I am giving this Munyolo man to talk with the Prime Minister directly. Children, even if there is something small, we can handle.
Même petit, que nous puissions le faire grandir dans cet esprit.
We cannot be 100%, but whenever issues come, we need to sit on a round table and iron them out, so that our children, the future leaders of tomorrow, are given an opportunity to remain with that bondage.
The Finance Minister, Matia Kasaija, also told the delegation that there is need for the two countries to increase volumes of trade so as to develop.
As the Prime Minister has said, there is no need for you to pick something thousands of miles away when it is available here in Uganda.
Comme l'a dit Madame la Première ministre, il ne sert à rien d'aller acheter les mêmes choses que nous avons, aller les chercher loin.
Equally, we don't need to go for something very far when you have it.
The leader of the delegation of members of parliament from the Democratic Republic of Congo, who spoke through an interpreter, Tibasimwa John, says that DR Congo requests the Ugandan government to consider issues such as security and politics, economic development and diplomacy. The delegation lauded President Yoweri Museveni for championing the good working relationship between the two countries.
Sur le plan politique,
About politics.
Notre pays est en train d'aller aux élections. Au mois de décembre 2023.
Will organize elections at the end of this year.
Oui. Et ces élections concernent tous les niveaux, local, municipal, provincial et national, même sénatorial viendra aussi par la suite.
We will have presidential elections, MPs, local councils, and the senators later.
The delegation asked the Ugandan government to extend electricity to the Democratic Republic of Congo on top of opening up a road network connecting the two countries and to Arua to handle trade. Members of Parliament from West Nile, led by the Minister for Northern Uganda Affairs, Grace Kwichunyi, thanked the government of Uganda for such meetings that will help to boost the trade among the two countries.
Diplomatic relations and some joint ventures which the government of Uganda and the DRC have committed to do.
Dr. Chris Bariomunsi, the Minister for Information, Communication and National Guidance, says that the people from the two countries should work together because they are bonded by blood.
We have advantage that our presidents are working together.
Et nous avons un avantage, nos deux présidents travaillent ensemble.
And we are also leaders, we are members of parliament.
Et nous, les membres du Parlement, nous travaillons ensemble.
Our people have the same problems.
Nos populations ont les mêmes problèmes.
So let us work together to make sure
Travaillons ensemble.
The meeting resolved to have another meeting to discuss modalities of strengthening the relations between the two sister countries.
With that, we take a quick break. We return with more details. Lunchtime News.
Ebiseera by'okuzaayo abaana mu masomero tebiteekwa kukaluubiriza n'akatono. Eno kusimba nnyiriri mpanvu kano kalipagano ka bidduka. Simanya kuzunga na banka siripsi. Kati osobola okusasula school fees z'omwana wo ate n'okola n'ebirala ntoko ku ssimu ye ey'omu ngalo. Ekikola kyangu nnyo. Nyiga bunyizi *165*8 ogoberera ebikulagiriddwa oba okozese app ya MTN Momo. Ate kati okola ki olwaleero? MTN Mobile Money Uganda Limited erunganisibwa banka enkulu ya Uganda.
This isn't just a girl. She is the future. This is a teacher, a doctor, a community leader, our future president.
Their support meant so much to me, and as a teenage girl, I stayed focused and was protected from child marriage and teenage pregnancy. I will support other girls against child marriage and teenage pregnancy.
Take action. Report any case of defilement or child marriage to the police or call Sawuti 116.
Uganda is rich in natural resources and hard-working people. But to turn these resources into real progress and development, we need to invest in our infrastructure, education, and health care. That's where taxes come in. When we pay our taxes, we are investing in our country's future. We are supporting the schools that educate our children, the hospitals that care for our families, and the roads and bridges that connect our communities. And when businesses pay their taxes, they are contributing to the growth and development of Uganda's economy. They are helping to build a stronger, more prosperous nation for us all. So when you pay your taxes, you are investing in the future of Uganda and supporting the progress and development of our nation. Uganda is because of you.
Uganda Revenue Authority. Developing Uganda together.
Kato, this is a quick call. I'm almost out of minutes. Now, the center.
Why rush through such important conversations? Airtel Uganda has made it possible for you to call across all networks in Uganda at the best rates with the new Bona voice bundles. Stay connected anytime, anywhere, with minutes valid for calls on all networks. Dial *100*1#. Select voice bundles and select Bona voice bundles today.
Airtel.
A reason to imagine.
The Magical Egypt Tour 2023 is here. A heavenly miracle waiting across the natural and divine attractions of Egypt, such as Cairo, Giza Pyramids, Saqqara, Memphis, and many more that will offer the gift of a lifetime. The chance to unlock all of the hidden powers of mind and soul, gain the enlightenment of the past and the future, and develop the power of healing. Departure will be Friday 16th up to 23rd June 2023. Basic package starting at $1,200, 8 days and 7 nights. To register, come to Gotove Tours and Travel at Nalkwago Complex Suta, UG16, George Street, Nakasero, or call +256 758 530 059 or +256 784 568 392 or WhatsApp +256 782 556 078. Only few slots are left. Powered by UBC Television.
Jerry Con! Jerry Con! Hey, Master Blaster! Touch him, man! Bang Jerry Con with muscle! Those ones who say go for you only. Mundawa! First group is I teach you. When I go to which the muscari, because of the camera is very far. Is you serious? Is serious you? What? Yeah? You stay put on it. Add kilometers to your legs. And you get your sugar. We buy meat from Umaru. And Umaru refuse to give you enough meat. Mama! Show him that they don't joke with you. Umaru, Jerry car.
Okakaluka n'okulungi kwetaagako omuntu akuyambako n'olwekyo tujja kukuteerawo embeera esaanidde osobole okukola ekisinga awamu teri kitulema.
The Resol Agribusiness Show is here under the theme Revolutionizing Agriculture through Value Addition, Innovation and Technology, scheduled for 13th to 16th June 2023 at Ruhinga Stadium, Fort Portal Tourism City, with a free medical camp running throughout the show. Entrance is totally free. To sponsor, partner and participate, contact 0702 301 059 or 0773 458 492 or 0773 301 059.
This is the University of Africa. On the streets, you get your real education. Here, everybody has a degree of something. But the most important qualification is imagination. Her reason to imagine is slay. His reason is to be the GOAT. Theirs is to take the beat and make it lit. They want to test edgy until it is fire. Their reason for imagination is to add riz in style. Her reason to imagine is finesse. And hers is to find what's new and bussin'. So no matter what your situation, just use your imagination.
Welcome back. You are still watching Lunchtime News. The judgment process for the 2023 Annual Agriculture Awards will climax on the 16th of June this year with the awards ceremony for unsung heroes in the sector. For the last 6 months, over 600 nominees have been selected under the different categories, 98 final nominees in the 25 categories, and over 1 million votes have been cast. The awards are a national platform that creates a competitive sector between various institutions. These ensure visibility and good practices of the players. The awards chief executive officer, Grace Musimami, said that the awards highlight what
and the event shall start at 3 p.m. This day is when we are going to unveil the best of the best. Just to let you know, members of the media, that we've been able to have over 1 million voters for 25 categories of awards.
We are very happy to be part of the organizing committee for the 2023 Annual Agriculture Awards. Again, as Grace indicated, this is the second time that the Annual Agriculture Awards are being organized. And for us, as the organic sector, our role is to highlight the excellent work that the organic farmers, the unsung heroes in the organic sector, are doing. It is our role as part of the organizing committee and working very closely with all the other partners to make sure that all organic producers, processors, exporters, as nominated in different categories, are recognized.
Why did we decide to partner with Annual Agriculture Awards? Since we are in so much agriculture, and most of our candidates and students and graduates from different universities, from different colleges who go out there to do the internship, they are agriculturists. So there is no way that I can miss to support anything for agriculture, and it's what we are doing right now.
The sector is the biggest sector that we have in the country. And the reason why, one, it is underfunded is because people claim they don't see what other people are doing. They keep saying, what are people doing in the agriculture sector? So we came up with this concept to say, no, let us highlight what stakeholders in the agriculture sector are doing, bring them to the limelight, appreciate them, and the central government, or the people, policymakers, or people who are able to draw budgets, are able to do what? To understand and appreciate that the sector is not dormant.
And in sports, Uganda's men's senior cricket team is in Nairobi, Kenya to take part in the inaugural edition of the T20 Continent Cup, starting today the 7th till the 21st of June. The squad of 14, led by Brian Masaba, is expected to be in Nairobi on 7th June. Now, the team will then kick off the tournament on 9th against Botswana. The tournament will be played in a triple round robin format, with a final between the two teams that top the round robin stage. The T20 Continent Cup was sanctioned by the ICC and therefore will have T20 ranking points for the participating teams. Four-nation event will feature hosts Kenya, Rwanda, Uganda and Botswana. Well, and that does it for Lunchtime News. Thank you for sticking with us. I'm Rhoda Ngonzi.
UBC, inspiring Uganda.
Uganda is rich in natural resources and hard-working people. But to turn these resources into real progress and development, we need to invest in our infrastructure, education, and healthcare. That's where taxes come in. When we pay our taxes, we are investing in our country's future. We are supporting the schools that educate our children, the hospitals that care for our families, and the roads and bridges that connect our communities. And when businesses pay their taxes, they are contributing to the growth and development of Uganda's economy. They are helping to build a stronger, more prosperous nation for us all. So when you pay your taxes, you are investing in the future of Uganda and supporting the progress and development of our nation. Uganda is because of you.
Uganda Revenue Authority. Developing Uganda together.
A new dawn on Behind the Headlines with me, Timothy Nyangweso. Every Wednesday, live in our studios in the heart of Kampala, we have conversations that have analysis, explanation, but not every truth is fact, and not every fact is truth. Every Wednesday, 10 p.m. on your public broadcaster.
All on your public broadcaster. UBC, inspiring Uganda.
107.3 Kampala, 96.9 Mbale, 95.7 Jinja, 98.6 Soroti. You are all covered.
UBC Butego.
Yikwa dola wini kune. Asoka muriyo. Atekeri na itesa ibija sesi.
UBC Butego. UBC, inspiring Uganda.
My name is Dama Lisadi and I welcome you to this episode of the Ideation Corner. The Ideation Corner is a space where ideas are discussed and dissected, and today I host Winnie Nandaula, who is the founder of Tawaza, and she's going to tell us all about Tawaza. Winnie, you're very welcome.
Thank you, Damali, for having me for this episode. My name is Winnie Nandaula. Tawaza is a development solutions hub. We are working with financial inclusion, using financial inclusion to be able to achieve at least 7 sustainable development goals.
7?
And 7. Financial inclusion can help you at least attain those 7 goals, education, health, because of the different innovations that are now in the space of finance. Yes, and right now, what I can say about Tawaza is that it's been a journey with after the pandemic.
When you started?
I started in 2017. And 2017 was just advocacy. Let me go into this. Let me find out. I traveled all the way to Malawi. I went to Zambia trying to compare what's happening in the space for financial inclusion. And it was interesting, but I was like, and then what?
Then what? So what?
Because my
After
challenge
advocating,
is,
then
yes,
what?
I was like, we don't have money. I'm trying to find out how do we get money? How do people like me, including the informal women who I work with and youth, how do we access money?
And money is always the issue, really?
Yeah, and it's always finance, access to finance. We are doing all these good things, and at the end of the day, is it bringing money?
Real problem.
Yes. And the pandemic set in, and it became clearer to me that financial inclusion is very key, because when I looked around me, I was staying in Munyonyo, and I kept saying I can go to the shop, but I had a neighbor who was quite informal, and she could go to the shop like me, and she was not receiving mobile money. She didn't know anything on how to do anything. All the time she knew she goes to Western Union, and that is how it works. And I was like, Madam, she's, I think, from Congo, but she had settled here. And also the kids from the university in Congo were there. All of them were facing similar challenges. Access to finance. We don't have bank accounts. We don't have this. And I was like, okay, I started taking notes. Immediately we got out of the pandemic, I was like, I'm scaling up Tawaza initiative. We are not just going to do advocacy and the usual conferences and stuff. I think right here I'm going to do digital financial services.
I like that.
So I went.
I feel like sometimes there's a lot of time spent on talking about what the women need or what people need, sensitizing them about what they need when they already know what they need, talking to them about why they need what they need, but then we don't deal with what they need. Deal with it.
And you know the biggest question is when you go out to meet these women, is that when you ask them if they have thought about growing financially, if they can invest, they say, I cannot. They don't ask you, how can I do it? No.
They just say,
I cannot. I will not do it. You want me to get my little money and then zifireo?
Risk it?
No, they do not risk.
So hard, I will not.
Exactly.
Okay.
So when I came up with the idea for digital financial services, I wasn't even sure whether there was a community that was fintech or anything. Are you a tech person? No, my background is finance. My background is finance. Yeah, I have an MBA in finance. Okay. And also I started on my CFA. I hope to complete it because it's so hectic when you start doing something that you're passionate about. Yes. And then you're like, should I continue acquiring that knowledge of CFA? Because I'm like, okay, maybe to contribute, since the kind of app that I want to do is for investment goals. Yes. So CFA will be very good. Yes. So it is always like, but I have a baby
but I
here.
have things to do.
Yeah. Tawaza is doing digital financial services. Why should I go and do CFA now?
Academic finance.
So I don't have a background in tech, but I learned very fast. Yes. I know how to move around tech. Yes. And I know that I can outsource some of these things, and
exactly, you don't have to do.
I don't have to do it
to have a tech solution.
No. You don't have to. And the minute I learned that, I started making more friends in tech. Even when I don't understand how to upload something on LinkedIn, I call someone. Now this video, is it the type that goes on LinkedIn? And then they're like, no, I think you need to do it better. I'm like, but they told me I can use my phone. It's like, the quality is very poor. And I'm like, okay, I'll go and learn something new. So you keep improving. Yeah, but it's enjoyable. It's an enjoyable space. Challenge also comes in when you decide to start lending money.
So Tawaza, sorry.
Yes.
What exactly does Tawaza do? You providing financial services to, especially women, informal women?
Yeah, informal women and youth.
So you're availing them with money?
Yes.
This big wide access to finance. You're giving them the funds. They apply and then they get the funds.
Yes, they apply and they get small loans. They borrow money like 150 maximum. Yes. That's little
what
money.
They need.
That's all they need, because they are doing. One is paying school fees. She has a stock of bags of charcoal. Another one is doing tomatoes. Just wants to maybe add onions and potatoes into the business. So they don't take a lot of money, and this money is paid back within 2 weeks.
Are you serious?
Within a month. Yes, they don't
pay
want
back that money in a short time.
Yes, in a very short time, and they are not the kind that make too many decisions in a short space. So it is always the same kind of repetitive sort of cycle for them. If it's buying tomatoes, they'll go and buy tomatoes. If they want to add potatoes, it is potatoes they are dealing with. You cannot get them to start thinking of a grocery store very fast. She will think about it, but she will want to put the spices and the salt right there. Then tomorrow she will add sugar. Then she will say, no, let me make it smarter. And then she will improve on that, put cooking oil and all these other things.
Slow organic growth.
Yes, it is. Yes. Because the first time when I went in, I thought, I have some money here. 3 million, let me see what it can do. I accessed a couple of women, but they also have another challenge. They don't trust. Who is this woman? Yes.
And why?
Why is Tawaza here? Why? What's so different? I'm like, I am trying to bring a service to you that is easier than a bank, it's more affordable, and it is something that we work out together and see. So when I was piloting with that bunny, I went to Umrah and requested for permission to test and see if that is possible. And they told me, if you're not yet giving out and, you know, going to hold them, how do they say it? You're not going to say they stole your money. And I'm like, no, I'm piloting. Yes, I'm learning. I'm ready to put this money here and let me see how it does. And 3 interesting things happened. I learned that they don't really need to borrow money. They need to be empowered right from the beginning that there is money to do something, and it is possible to do what they think they can do. Right from the get-go. 2, they are loyal. They will keep with you as long as they know that you can still give them that little money and they'll always bring it back. 3, I learned that these women need to belong. If they don't belong, their mind does not settle with you.
So belong, what do you mean by
belong,
that?
Like when we go to the bank,
like
yes, they can't work outside of feeling like it's a group.
Even if they feel like it's more secure when I'm in a group, that I will not work with you individually.
No.
But it's the 10 of us who are working with you.
Yes, if I find that you can put us in a group, even if I'm borrowing individually, they do not want to feel like she's alone, the other one is alone, and then no, they want to find a forum where they can talk, where they can.
It's also social.
Yes. So even if, because my initial thought was individuals come together, but then at the end of the day, I had to create a community. And in that community, there are those who are interested in money, there are those who are interested in ideas, there are those who have the money. There are those who have the money and are willing to put it there for other people to access. Yes.
That's interesting. I wouldn't have thought about that.
There are women out there who have money. She tells you, I do 5 trucks of charcoal in a month. So she has the money. She can keep doing her 5 trucks of charcoal. She has built a home. She'll probably acquire land. But then there are other women in the group that she is joining, and she's only joining for knowledge and exposure and any other thing, so that she doesn't feel like she's being left behind. Yes, she has the money.
She's not coming for the money.
No.
She's coming for the network, the
business networking, the business clinics. Yeah, that's why I had to come up with the product. It's called Pedestal. It does both the financial and the non-financial. The financial will keep under the app, and we'll keep improving on it. Because they're interested in investment, we need to add, when I was in the hackathon, the last Women in FinTech hackathon, I learned something.
By the way?
It was a very interesting platform. I never thought that, I was actually, I think I was the oldest in the group.
I know, they're so young.
Yeah, they're so young, very energetic and curious.
Very curious.
And I decided to also become like them if I was going to learn. So I hung around.
You're like, I don't care.
I left with a wealth of things. And I was like, okay, if I'm to get this idea well, I need a database of suppliers for different investment goals that these women are going to come up with. If it is insurance, I need to have insurance companies. If they want to do something to do with land and housing, I need to find which real estate companies. So I'm building databases right now.
I like that. So it's a network of people who are working with solutions that help women in whatever aspects that the women feel they have a gap.
So that's the non-financial side. And then the non-financial side, you need to also let these people meet some of these people who are already doing things like that. That's why we invite people even who are outside the community. For example, this the upcoming expo, the She B2B Expo, is something that I would like to run for the next 5 years. Just set up a big networking event where all startups are there, all micro businesses are there, small and medium is also there, just to create the mentorship and show that things are possible. These things are possible. So it is a version that I expect that as we've set up the clinics, the conferences, people are learning and people are getting comfortable. Building confidence is one of the things. Women lack confidence because I could be so intimidating when I walk into a room and I know how to do everything. Who knows how to do this? My hand up. Who knows how? And the other one will not be able. Yes. So you let them have this business networking. It will be a 3-day event.
Okay. Where they're talking to themselves.
Let them meet.
Yeah.
If you see someone is in a corner, hold their hand. Tell them, let's go and check out this.
Okay. Yeah.
So it's that whole process that women need to be out there and support one another. And we are not excluding the men. We are saying, you come in, but this is majorly women.
Yes.
The champions, the males, we want them there.
Yes.
We cannot, if you put these women alone as women, you're going to find that they've created
Come to the State of the Nation's address here at Kololo Airstrip as even we wait on some of the guests to arrive. This is the State of the Nation's address, this before we even get into the budgeting, but we'll be giving you details about some of the State of the Nation's addresses that have happened in March this year but also in June last year, and giving you details of what the President was saying then. My name is Timothy Nyangweso and this is the third session of the first sitting of the 11th Parliament, even as we have many of the members of Parliament showing up and some of the guests showing up. We have the Speaker, Right Honourable